Hello, my name is Karl Nisso. I'm a certified Tonisco trainer. Today I'm going to show you how to do a 6-inch hot tap on an 8-inch steel main. We're going to use the Tonisco B40 hot tap machine. We're going to use a mechanical hot tap saddle with a normal class 150 PN10 rated gate bolt. 6-inch equals 140 millimeter hole saw, so we're going to make a 140 millimeter cut. Okay, I'm just going to start, and I will also pinpoint some safety factors and also give you some hints on how to handle the machine correctly so that it works properly and it gets the job done. Okay, I'm just going to start now. First, I will take the mechanical clamp. I will remove the two sides from each other and then insert it to the pipe. And of course, before putting the clamp on the pipe, we should check that the surface of the pipe is cleaned and there's no waste or rubbish that may affect the sealings. It's good to use some lubricant on the sealings. Of course, I will use the special Tonisco sealant. It's edible and water approved. It just enhances the sealing properties. I'm going to insert the clamp on the pipe like this. Put it in place. Insert the other end. And it's always good to read the manual or the mounting instructions of the manufacturer. But the rule of thumb is always to tighten it evenly and of course test pressure it before doing anything else. Yeah, it's always good to do the final tightening with a torque wrench. I have now set this to the right torque and I will do the final tightening manually. So now we have the saddle and the valve. The next phase is to assemble the machine and do a test pressure or pressure test. Okay, next I'm going to assemble the machine, assemble the shaft, and then mount the complete unit to the valve. Always check that the sealing is there before putting the body unit. Then I'm going to assemble the shaft, and because it's a brand new unit, I'm going to assemble the shaft and then turn it freely inside the machine for a little bit, just to make it go a little bit smoother. So take the base shaft. For this setup, we're going to use or need one extension. I'm going to screw it on. Then we're going to use the second largest chuck. Screw that on like this. Tighten it a little bit. Then add the hole saw cutter. Tighten the cutter. Always remember to tighten the cutter. If it's left loose, it easily breaks the cutter. And be careful with your hands. So remember to use safety gloves. Like this. Then I'm gonna insert the pilot drill. For that, I'm gonna use the 5mm Allen key. That goes to the locking screw. Fully open it first. Take the pilot drill. Put it so that the notch here goes to the locking screw. The easy way to make sure of that is to first tighten it a little bit, like that. Tighten it a little bit, take it a little bit back, check that it's in the notch, like this, and then fully tighten it, like this. Always check that the barbed wire comes all the way above the hole saw. Then you always know that it will secure the coupon. Okay, now the shaft is basically pre-assembled. Then I'm going to add some lubricant on the shaft, like this. Then I'm gonna push it from the other side. I'm gonna push it inside the machine and turn it while I push. Because it's a brand new machine, the sealings are a bit tight. It goes pretty good. I'm gonna push it all the way and then do some turnings so that it will lubricate the sealings properly, so that it moves freely in the bearings and in the sealings, like this. And now I'm gonna take it all the way up, and then I'm gonna lift it on the valve. It's good to have someone to help you with the lifting, so please. You could also assemble it so that you first put the adapter and the shaft, and then you could do it yourself, but we do it like this now. Okay, the next phase is to find the starting point for the hot tap. In other words, adjust the machine according to the shaft that we just assembled. So we're gonna feed freely, because now the shaft touches the pipe. So we're gonna feed freely as long as the shoulder of the shaft comes in line with the shoulder of the body. So I'm just gonna feed clockwise, and you can feel the shaft or the body going lower, and when the shoulder of the shaft comes in line with the body, then we will add the locking and the extension socket, and then we know that also check that the shaft is the correct length. It's always, this is a step that you always have to make. So you have like basically two options: assemble the shaft and then feed away the distance, or assemble the shaft, and if it's not long enough, put the socket beneath the drive unit. But I always recommend to put it on top. So now we see that the shoulder is coming I will stop the feed, and now I'm gonna measure the overall feeding distance that we have with this shaft assembly. So I will take the measure from the flange here on the adapter, and the measure from the flange to the driving body, and I see that it's 615 mil, so we have plenty of feed still. So this is, the shaft is now the correct size. So for this setup we needed the base shaft plus one extension, and that was when we were using the smallest pilot drill and 140 mil hole saw. Okay, and now I'm gonna insert the drive unit, and then I'm gonna make the test pressure, or the pressure test. That I will be using today are the hydraulic and the pneumatic. First, I'm gonna use the hydraulic one. I'm gonna find the right place, which is here, and put it in place, lock it there. So now the drive unit is in place, the hoses are pretty straight. Then I'm gonna add the extension socket, and I'm gonna lock the whole system in place. And this is extremely important. Always use the socket and exactly this length socket, because this assembly is designed to be locked with this size of a socket. You put the socket on, secure it with a washer and a bolt, and this makes the machine one unit, one complete unit. So now this is like made out of one piece. If you ever leave this loosen or you don't use the socket, it's really easy to destroy the machine. Secure the bolt firmly like this. And now basically the machine is built. We have inserted the saddle, mounted the valve, assembled the shaft, mounted the machine and the shaft to the valve and the adapter, and now we have secured the drive unit. So basically now what we are going to do next is that we're going to check that the valve is fully open, and then we're going to do a pressure test. And today I'm going to use compressed air, but you could also use, especially in gas and oil, you could use inert gas, and in water or heating and cooling, you could also use water for the pressure test. But for me, it's now convenient to use compressed air. So we have these two control cocks in the machine. The other one, I will put the compressed air, and the other one, I will put a manometer so I can check and control the pressure that I'm gonna put into the unit. But first, in this stage, I'm gonna lose the cap and take the helmet with the visor, with the eye protection and ear protection. Safety first, guys. Especially when dealing with compressed air. Okay, this is secured, starting the pressure test with compressed air. 2 bars, 4 bars, 5 bars. I'm gonna stop here because basically the gas limit for the saddle that we're going to use is 6 bars for test pressuring, and also because the saddle is actually used, so it's I want to take some safety measures, and because this is just a training video. So now I have put in 5 bars, and of course I will also monitor the manometer so that the pressure doesn't drop, because that's of course an indication of leak. And now I'm gonna take the leak detection spray and check all the connections that there is no leaks and the pressure doesn't drop. So I'm visually inspecting all the connections, all the flanges, all the ceilings of the machine to make sure that there's no leaks. And I'm also gonna monitor the pressure level on the manometer, and I see no drops, I see no leaks. And of course, please do your own procedure for test pressuring, and also, depending on the environment, always use the measures that you have to be taken into consideration before starting. But always remember that the max pressure for this machine is 40 bars. The operational pressure is 40 bars, so do not exceed that. There's no leaks. There's no drop in the manometer level. So I could say that we are good to go. We are good to start the hot tapping process. And what I usually like to do, especially when I'm test pressuring with inert gas or water, I always like to leave a little bit gas or water inside the system, because it stabilizes the hot tap and also stabilizes the pressure levels between the pipe, because at the moment the main has 6 bars. So if I'm putting, let's say, I'm gonna drop this into 4 bars, let's say. Like this. So it stabilizes the drill a little bit, makes the shaft lighter. So when it starts the hot tap, it doesn't push it against the pipe. But this is just my way, so you can always, of course, choose your own preferences. The drive unit is locked. Everything is in place. So first, now I'm gonna start the actual hot tap process. So first, we're gonna do the hot tap with the pilot drill, and that actually pressurizes the chamber. So after that, we're gonna move into the cutting phase with the hole saw. But I'm gonna explain some points when I do it. But this is going to be loud, so see you later. So first, we're gonna take a little bit back the machine, a little bit back, counterclockwise, so that when we begin to turn the drive unit, the shaft is moving freely. Then I'm gonna slowly start feeding. Okay, now I can see from the manometer that the pilot drill has gone through. The pressure is equal on the main and also in the drilling space, drilling chamber. Now, what I'll do, I will feed the extension, I mean all the extra space between the pilot and the hole saw away, simply by turning the wheel, taking all that excess space away. And next time when this stops, it means that the cutter is touching the pipe, the hole saw cutter. Like this. Now I know that the hole saw is touching the pipe. Now I'm gonna take a little bit back again. I'm gonna start the drive unit again, and I'm gonna start the hole saw cutting. I can check the measurement again. Okay, feels like 5 more millimeters. 1 turn equals 0.5 mil. In order to verify that the hot tap, the hole saw cutting has gone completely through, when you're turning it, you can make few fast turns and then stop the turning motion completely, and then still feed. And if it goes, you are 100% sure that the hot tap has gone completely through. Okay, so basically now the hot tapping is done. Then the next phase is to release the shaft to the upward position, close the valve, and disassemble the machine. I'm going to show you how to do that. So we have the pressure relief chain block here. We're going to release this. Oh, always remember to take off the manometer. And it's also basically pretty good to take it away right after you have verified that the pilot drill has gone through, because it's basically just on the way. So I'm gonna take this, plug it into the drive unit, tighten it, open the bayonet of the drive unit, take the drive unit, release it from the locking places, and let the pressure lift the shaft up like this. To turn it a little bit to verify that it's on the upmost position. Take away the pressure relief chain. And myself, I always like to take away all the heavy items before closing the valve. So I always release the drive unit at this point, so that I do not forget to take it away before I release the pressure from the drilling chamber, because then the shaft is free to drop, and the more weight the shaft has, the more damage it will do. So I'm gonna take away the drive unit right away at this point. Take away the socket. is the drive unit. Okay, the shaft is up. Shaft is all the way up in the upmost position. Then we will feed the machine all the way back so that we have enough space to close the valve. All the way up, there's a stopper, and you can also check it with the measuring tape. Here we have a few more centimeters to go. And there it is, the maximum 370, or 670, I'm sorry. Then we will close the valve like this. After that, we can release the pressure. Please hold the shaft. Release the pressure and let the shaft drop on the plate just really carefully. Now the valve is closed. Now we can disassemble the machine. And because it's over 4, everybody is away already, I'm going to show you how to dismantle the machine with one man. So you can first really open the bolts in the body unit. Then you can take the body of the machine. Take it out, put it down, then do the same for the adapter. Here we have the coupon in place. So this would be a successful hot tap. And now we're just gonna disassemble everything, put everything back to its place, clean everything, and basically by doing that, the machine will last forever. Thank you.